Well, on the calendar, it says it's springtime, and it is time for our Allied Cooperative Program. I have Tom Hoffman. He's the agronomy sales lead out of Marshfield. And with our springtime weather, what are you seeing when it comes to those stands out there right now?
Things appear at the moment like they're not going to be too bad. I must say I personally was quite concerned all winter where we had a portion of the winter that was exposed and we had some very cold weather, but it does appear like things are greening up, and I'm saying specifically about some hay stands and winter wheat. Now, granted, it doesn't mean every single field is perfect, and now is a time to be thinking hard, or you may be able to make some very good assessments where we're seeing frost. In many of the areas we don't have much frost, so now is a good time to go out and assess that. But we are seeing some green up. Certainly with alfalfa, it would be good to pretty quick here within the next week, probably be able to pull some roots and do some root evaluations to see if it's going to live. But I think things are starting to green up. Certainly some hay stands after last year. Some areas had very wet weather and fields were damaged, and some of those fields between compaction and or ruts probably should be eliminated anyhow. A person should be doing those evaluations now, but I don't think we're going to be as bad as I thought as what I thought it was going to be at first.
From getting out into those fields, we're always talking about planting those corn acres and those soybean acres, seeing those row crops grow. What about the supplies for getting those crops in? How are we sitting when it comes to our fertilizers?
I think as Allied Co-op, we have a good supply. We have good storage, and we feel we're pretty good at this particular point. Now, it's early in the year. And there right now it doesn't seem like there's obstacles with the Mississippi River, but I do think that things like anhydrous, that's a particular product where there isn't unlimited storage, and we deal with some anhydrous in some of our trade area, but some of this goes so fast, and when the whole Midwest is going, our whole U.S. infrastructure really isn't prepared to deal with everybody in the whole Midwest going at the same time. So in some areas it's going to put a little bit of a challenge here for the short term. Just kind of a lesson learned. Some of these products, whether it be some fertilizer in the fall, if you can spread out that application other times of the year, probably lesson learned that, hey, a person should probably try to take advantage of that when they can.
And when we talk about fertilizers and we talk about getting them from other places, the word tariff always comes up. What does it look like when it comes to our potash? Did that get hit with tariffs?
At this particular point, no. I think there's been some agreement, and right now we are not, there isn't tariffs on the potash. So certainly that's a product. There's a very high percentage of it that's imported into this country. Yes, in this area, Canada does provide, but there isn't any tariff on that. But I will say, where there's been some more broadening tariffs to other countries around the world, there are some other things like nitrogens and phosphates, and even cost of shipping are being affected to a certain degree. And also in some of those things where it's putting on vessels, there's just some uncertainty in the slow up of some of those vessels, maybe not coming as fast as a person would like. I don't think it's going to be a severe hindrance, but it's funny how things have changed over the weeks on how the tariffs affect us. But there is a little bit that's being affected more of this stuff coming up the river, where at first we thought it'd be the stuff coming out of Canada.
The stuff coming up the river, is that going to maybe slow down some of our planting?
I think in our particular case, I don't think it's going to slow us up planting-wise. Again, I feel that we have good supplies, and it looks like some stuff is coming up, for where we have to replenish. But I think we'll be pretty good on planting. I do think there is an issue if the amount of corn acres that are projected, there should be a lot of nitrogen use, and I'll pick on urea as much as anything. So, I mean, there should be more tons used, and I think that'll put a little strain on things at some given time here.
So would it make sense for a farmer to reach out to Allied Cooperative and just make sure all the ducks are in a row and be able to plant as soon as possible?
Yeah, I think just please reach out to us. We're here to provide products and services and try to make a successful planting season for our producers. But obviously, anytime we can have good communication always helps us help them. And so please reach out and communicate, and we're here for you.
And that's our Allied Cooperative Program for this Wednesday morning with Tom Hoffman. He's the agronomy sales lead working out of that Marshfield office. And I'm Jill Welke.